Hi. Just wanted to jump on here really quickly before I get onto the subway, and mostly because it's been my heart that's been like, come on, just say something, make a video. Like, no, I have to go somewhere. And this is what it is with life. But I've been hearing really powerful stories lately, and even of my own experience when just listening to your heart, and of course I've been talking about this, listening to your heart has amazing effects, and I don't even know why I would do something, or why my intuition would be telling me to do something. But then when I just take that leap and listen to that small voice within, I just do it. And it came up for me now is I actually didn't want to work out this morning either, and somehow when I did that, it just changed my whole energy, and it just changed everything. And then of course I get on Instagram because I have a lot of motivational stuff on my Instagram. It's like, oh, do what you don't want to do or I do something hard every day. I didn't say that, somebody else said that. But what's actually my point? What did I actually want to come on here to talk about is I wanted to just talk a little bit about my experience with being in silence today. And it was a really cool experience because what I have been doing, and I haven't been on so much, is that I've been actually working on a rage coaching program, because remarkably I have recovered from rage. Like 98% of it has actually been removed from me, and that is a crazy, impossible, amazing, beautiful miracle. Of course, I needed to participate in that miracle of my life, but that's been an amazing experience. And I was talking to my coach last night, and I was like looking at the room that I was sitting in and saying, oh my gosh, this is where I used to I have actually beat myself, I have hit myself, I have hated myself so much that I have just, cursed myself out, and just because I couldn't stop doing harmful things. I couldn't stop doing it. And today I'm in a completely different space where I'm watching my thoughts. I'm not in that space. It's like a healing has taken place. Like my soul has evolved. Like I've gotten through it somehow. And one of the main things is what I would be starting to sit in silence and also fall in love with the stuff that was coming up in silence. And today I don't even have to be so conscious about falling in love with it. But what happened today was I thought that I'd be meditating on my program, on what I'm going to be, on the outline, or my questionnaire that I do. Like there's things that I'm working on that's like so exciting. And I was like, oh, for sure, I'm going to be meditating, and this is me thinking that I know what is actually going to happen. And what ended up happening was something else came through, and this is what sitting in silence has done. It's stuff that really I need to look at and I need to deal with, but my consciousness pushes it away and pushes it down so that way I don't have to deal with it. And sitting inside, and then of course I'd be scared of it, so that's of course why I would push it away. But today I don't have to be scared of it, and today I'm really grateful that I'm able to sit in the meditation and just sit in silence. And what came up actually was about a woman who is making, sometimes when my daughter goes over to a friend's house, the grandmother will make comments on her, and she'll say stuff, and it always bothers me, but I guess this last one, it really bothered me, and this has come up, and in the past I really don't know how to deal with it. And the truth is I'm going to continue to pray on it, because what it brings up for me is anger, and I have to be free of the anger, because that's triggering something in me, and that has to be, in order for me to be effective, I need to be out of anger. Like I need to be neutralized in my soul, so that way I can effectively handle a situation. So I have been praying on it, and I have been thinking about it, and that is amazing. And what has happened is I have allowed the consciousness to bring it up, because that's obviously not something, I don't know if it's obvious, but for me, it's not something that's comfortable to deal with it, because, it's confrontation. And that's another thing. Confrontation, it's not necessarily confrontation. I always thought that sticking up for yourself or saying something that's true it's not confrontation. There's a time where you can be just authentic and just say, that's really hurtful and also inappropriate. See, I'm already telling you what I'm going to tell this lady. So, please don't do that. That's something that we could do, is just say what we mean what we say, but not say it mean. And what happened is that sitting in silence is it actually cleans out the soul. I don't know how it works. It's not me doing it. It's my participation in it is just to participate. It's just to sit there, don't die, and just sit through it, even though my ego wants to completely like do other things. At this point, to be very honest with you, my favorite time of the day is spending time with myself. And that's impossible because, as I said before, I hated myself. And today there's been such a transformation. So what had happened is that my kitchen was also messy. And after sitting in the silence, it gets to clean out your soul. So an amazing burst of energy I just had, and within 5 or 8 minutes, I just cleaned up my whole entire kitchen. So why am I sharing this with you? I guess to share it because I want to. I want to share what's possible. I want to share that impossible stuff that you think is unattainable for you. You know, maybe you have different things in your life that you're working on, or maybe you have different stuff that, you know, my stuff is different maybe, or maybe it's the same. I don't know. I know there was one other thing that came up, which is even me going live and doing these, even me having doing a coaching program or doing something like this, my mind will come up with all the reasons why I can't, why it's not good enough, why it won't work, and why I should be scared. And also there's shame. For some reason, shame came up. And that's because I worked with a woman who I took on as a mother role. At some point, she was a mentor to me. And she would laugh at me. And of course, there was good things about it, the relationship, but there was also very harmful aspects of it as well. And the reason I guess why I'm talking about this is there have been many women who have been telling me about the pain that they have about their mothers shaming them. And it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening because I felt that with this particular relationship. And then it came up in my meditation and I was like, wow, that's amazing. What happens in the silence now is that I get to see my thoughts instead of being latched onto them, which is amazing. And that is completely available to you, to sit in silence with yourself, knowing that you are bigger than your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the space that holds the thoughts. And this kind of emotional work and emotional cleansing, I guess I would call it, of just allowing what is to be there. See, when that woman came up and I felt this shame, I allowed it to be there. And without me even realizing it, ended up just leaving. And that's the power of being in silence. It's being able to sit with yourself and fall in love with who you are. It doesn't even matter if your mother, I mean, it matters, and I'm so sorry if this happened, but if your mother was mean and telling you things that are disheartening, of how just shaming you, even just for being there, like, oh, you're not good enough, or you could dance, but yeah, the girl next to you, she really did a good job. She really, wow, she was amazing. If these things were said to you and you felt shame growing up, what's happening is that as you get older, you attract into your life people that will do that to you until there's a time when you make a shift. And that's where I come in. That's where I'm so excited about, is that time when you get awakened and you're not willing to accept unacceptable behavior, when you're willing to do whatever it would take to get yourself well. And there's so many different avenues. There's so many different. If you ever want to call me, call me. If you ever wanted to do something, like, do something else. But know that you're so worth it. You're so worth the time, and you are not your thoughts. Anything that's negative that's coming up in your mind is not you. It's coming from human conditioning. Who cares? Who cares? It's not. And if you sit in silence for a little bit, the emotional cleansing will happen on its own. Because, again, the same way the creative energy or God or whatever you want to call this amazing, beautiful healing light that grows trees, that if you get a cut on your skin, will know how to put it back together again. We'll know how to put you back together again. I'm like Humpty Dumpty. Anyway, so I'm going to end this because now I'm just talking a lot. But I guess what the main thing is that it is possible to overcome emotional instability. And the more you clean out and work on, I see the solution as spiritual. That's just always how I've connected. I've always needed some spiritual help, and then along the way I've totally had people in my way to give me tools and to help me and to talk and to share. and that's been awesome. And once you are willing to let go of emotional trauma, and once you're willing to be healed, to get healing in your life, and to know that the negative thoughts are not actually you, it's conditioning, and there's so much more to look forward to. Like, it's exciting. Life is exciting. The chances of you even being alive today on this planet is so low, so you're so freaking valuable. And that's what I want to say. That's what I want to tell you. You are so freaking valuable. Love you. Clean out. When you clean out your soul, it'll clean out physically your life, what's going on, and so many more miracles waiting to happen. Enjoy your day.